All right, what's his major video a little bit?
He got
okay, here, Baxter. How old?
2.5.
2.5. Yeah, what's his big problem in life? Does he bite people?
Only if he has like a bone.
So he's food aggressive, possessive of things. All right, so what else? So he bites over bones.
And actually now he's being calm, but he gets crazy to the point where he's inconsolable.
Like he's a frenzy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Maxie, Baxter. Sorry, I'll forget your name, but he generally don't bite.
No.
But how is he with other dogs?
He's good. He thinks that he's boss.
Okay. Mike Gould here, Mayor of Houndstown, USA, home to the happiest dogs on earth. This is our little friend Baxter. Today's Thursday the 7th, and this is his first day of our boot camp, rehabilitation, whatever you want to call it. It's about giving the dog boundaries. First thing we did, before we do anything, is we make sure we have the right equipment on the dog. So if you have a harness, a flat collar, a pinch collar, a shock collar, in our world, that's the wrong equipment. So the first thing I did, always, is put this little piece of nylon rope. And the first lesson is we love good behavior, we nurture good behavior, and we correct bad behavior. What is bad behavior? Putting tension on this leash is bad behavior. So how do we correct? We snap and release the leash. And that's it. So there's no energy, there's no yelling, there's no screaming. Okay, so obviously this is literally a piece of nylon rope. So we're going to replace the nylon rope with something more durable and permanent. So this is a nylon training leash. The difference is this is going to stay on the dog. You're not going to change it. So it goes on by making a P, right? So this is a P out there in TV land. This is a Q. So the first thing we want to do is slip it over our baby's head. That's a little big. We'll probably switch it out to a 14. But for now, that's fine. So there's the nylon collar. That's the only thing we ever use. Then I put a nylon leash on. This is the only thing I ever use. So the trick is, again, no tension on the leash. Every time the dog pulls on the leash, we give a little snap of the leash. And when he's not pulling, we praise. So my first, and then of course there's some guarding issues we're going to look at. We're going to teach the dog never to pull. That's going to be our first behavior, is teach him to walk on our left. Good doggy. Good dog, Baxter. Heel. He walks on our left. That's called heeling. Good boy. Love, good behavior. Correct, bad behavior. Correct? Love, good dog. Good doggy. Good doggy. What's bad? If he jumped on me, if he pulled, or he bites me over one of his toys. So, we try to move fast forward here. So we get right to the, he ran after the squeaky toy. Squeaky toy is not a squeaky toy. That's not a penguin. That's not a Frosty the Snowman. It's a dying animal. So these toys that squeak and the dogs want to eat, good doggy, good. They're killing and eviscerating a dead animal. So that's like a dead squirrel, a dying squirrel. So this is instinctive in a dog. I throw it. I correct him for chasing it. For many reasons that's wrong. If he chases a ball or a rabbit, he's going to get hit by a car. So he has to learn not to chase things. So moving along with my, really this is more of an assessment than it is training, right? I want to understand his triggers. There's one of his bones. They're not his. I misspoke. Everything is ours. Dogs don't own anything. They don't have credit cards. They don't go to PetSmart and buy things. So these are his bones. So I have to teach him, and what is a bone? Well, this obviously, it's a bone of a dead animal. And when they chew on it, especially when they get their saliva in it, they get into almost a trance. And then when you go to reach for it, he thinks it's his. So the leader of the pack, everything is ours. The dog cannot possess things. He cannot become territorial. He can't resource guard. I'm giving him a treat. The treat that I decide. I'm not asking him to sit or stay. I don't care. Look, I'm making him work for it a little bit. Good boy. This makes me in charge of the dog, no? Good dog. Okay, today's Mother's Day, 2015. Happy Mother's Day, Mother. Here is our little friend Baxter, and the process continues. So the first responsibility or behavior or trick, whatever humans call it, it's a behavior. We want him to give a dog a responsibility, as we all have responsibilities. I'm doing my responsibility today. So we're teaching Baxter where he fits in the pack. So the first thing we do is teach him to heel. Heel is a human word. You can say apples, oranges, spaghetti. It doesn't matter. It means to the dog, stay on my left side when the pack is moving forward. That's his first responsibility. It's like telling a kindergarten child, follow the person in front of you. So it's a responsibility. And this is the way you look at behavior. They're not tricks, there's nothing. So his first responsibility, we taught him for the last however many days, is not to pull on this leash. My hands are down here. So I'm going to always walk with my left foot. That's his command or trigger, whatever human word you want to call it. We're teaching him to follow our feet. I move forward. Good doggy. Then I praise him. Good. He's on my left. If you see where my hands are, they're down here. It's his responsibility to stay on my left side regardless of if I'm going fast or slow. It's not my responsibility. It's my responsibility and your responsibility to teach him where he belongs in the pack and be consistent. If you allow him to pull here, he's over here. He's not allowed to sniff the ground when the pack is moving. I turn, he turns. When I stop, I slow down and ask him to sit, and he sits. For that, I love him. I don't give him a treat. I give him affection. This is very important, and he's doing very well. Now, we did some homework. Now we're going to the playground. I'm moving with my left foot, and we're going to the playground. Perfect. Okay, so now we're at the dog park or your backyard. It could be anywhere. He no longer has, the only responsibility he has now is not to run away from me or jump over the fence or start digging or barking. Barking is an inappropriate behavior. It sounds weird, I can explain it in detail, but dogs they can alert us to something, woof woof. That's it. You have to control the barking. So now Baxter's doing what he couldn't do 2 minutes ago, which is explore the beautiful odors that are here. Pee, poop. The leash is always on when the dog is under your supervision. This is critical. That the leash and collar, the collar I gave you, and the leash drags. It's no big deal. I'm watching. The worst thing that could happen is it gets caught on a piece of lawn furniture. What am I going to do? I'm going to go over there without running, no drama, and unhook them. And that applies inside the house as well. The only control you have right now is via the leash and collar. Okay, we're continuing. So, obviously one of Baxter's and all dogs' issues are possessing things that they think belong to them. This is a fundamental mistake because dogs cannot own anything. We can give them things, but they can't own it. So, anytime the dog's on a leash, you see his ears are up. Somebody's approaching. So what do? I correct. Correct. Correct is a snap of the leash. Now he sees a rabbit. This is high stimulus. Quiet. Look at me. I correct. Okay, so like anything a dog doesn't understand, this could be the vacuum. It looks like it kind of looks like Baxter. So what is this? It's not it's just an item moving, and he had no idea what it is. So it's our responsibility in life is to teach him. So as I said, if you have a small child and it doesn't know what an airplane is, or it doesn't know what a subway is, or it doesn't know what anything is, an elephant is, we have to teach him. So this creature came into our yard here. We were nice and balanced. He couldn't figure out what it was. So we have to teach him. And as we go, this is the problem. If we don't teach early in life, it becomes an obsession. So now it just moves slightly, and the dog got back to aroused, but it's better than it was. So we can't tell him he's got an autistic brain. We have to speak in dog to him. Good dog. So we're going to cut and work this out a little bit. So how do we teach? Obviously I can't get a bunch of squirrels just by virtue of leaving this here and running it. It's not going to get the dog to calm down. I can't give it a treat So you have to mark good behavior and correct bad behavior. So this is obviously pretty deeply rooted in the dog. So we're going to move it a little bit. Good dog. Good. Good dog. So he has to understand this is not a prey item that he needs to kill. And this is why he has possession syndrome. So he thinks it's his job to kill this animal, but it's not. Go ahead. Good dog. Good dog. And when his drive is up, he'll bite that. So it's just a misinterpretation of something. So this is a wonderful, what is it wonderful?
Experiment?
Lesson.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bye. So look at me though, relax. We can't tell him. That's like, just so we know, that's like the mailman, the vet, anything he doesn't understand and he barks and bites at, he's required to do that. By the laws of nature, we're required to fight over things that we don't know. Territory, come back, squirrel. So here we are, relaxed, and here comes my squirrel. But look at me. I can't restrain him during this exercise. It's impossible. This is perfect today. This is advanced training. This is not basic sit, stay. Good boy. Good boy. Good. So if this was another animal and we wanted, let's say he was animal aggressive and we want to teach him to interact with this animal. That's all this is. It's not a car. It's an animal.